Hey guys, Ruth here. Welcome to episode 4 of season 2. We are so glad you're joining us today wherever you're watching from. Today we are so excited to be discussing food. Just to clarify, I am not talking about your eating habits, and I'm not talking about physical food that you put in your mouth. What I am talking about is what you consume, what you feed your eyes, your heart, your soul, and your mind with. And as young Christians, we know that sometimes it's difficult to kind of know what is okay to watch, read, and listen to. So many of us will understand that we are called to live lives that are set apart for Jesus and to not follow the way of the world. However, we also understand that finding good content that is still God glorifying can be a bit of a struggle. So in this episode, we want to help you with that. We want to equip you with tools that will help you consume content that will keep you close to Jesus. We're going to have two of our amazing and wonderful youth leaders, Daniel and Daniela, talk us through some practical tips and guidance on how we can intentionally manage what we consume. So, over to you, Dan.
Thank you, Ruth. 2 areas we believe it is important as Christians to manage what we consume are in the things we watch and in the things we read. If we're not careful, we can build up this false idea in our minds that we can watch or read whatever we want and that it won't have any impact on us. But this is false. What we choose to expose our eyes to has a direct effect on our mindsets and the state of our heart. Jesus himself said that our eyes are the lamps of our bodies, and that when they are healthy, our whole bodies will be full of light, but when they are unhealthy, our whole bodies will be full of darkness. That whether good or bad, what our eyes see does have an impact on us all. So some of you may be wondering, what then can I watch or read? Because I'm not looking to just stare at the wall all day. And we understand that the same way our bodies crave physical food, so too do our souls crave spiritual food to satisfy our hunger. The Bible teaches us that Jesus is the only one that can truly satisfy our souls. And one of the ways we can receive more of him is by reading his word. This is the first and most important thing we'd encourage you to intentionally expose your eyes to. But no, before you ask, the Bible isn't the only thing that we believe as Christians you should watch or read. There are many things on this earth that God has blessed us with to enjoy it, and also many other things that can be harmful to our commitment to him. But if you are struggling to decide whether to read or watch something, there's 2 things that you can do. Number 1, pray to God and ask him, by the power of the Holy Spirit, to lead you in making the right decision that honors him. Number 2, ask yourself, if Jesus was sitting next to me right now, would I feel comfortable watching this? We believe these will help you to make the right decision. Well, that's all for managing the things we watch and the things we read. I'm going to pass to Daniela, who's going to bring us some guidance on music and social media.
Thank you, Dan. Great. So the third and fourth areas we believe it is important as Christians to manage what we're consuming are in the music that we listen to, in our social media activity. In both the music that we listen to and what we do online, it can be very easy to kind of just go along with what everybody else is doing. But it's so important that we remember not to conform to the pattern of this world, but instead honor God in all we do. With music, it's really all around us. TVs, stores, adverts, it's everywhere, and you can't really control all the music that we listen to at all times. But we can control the music that we choose to meditate on. For example, the music that we listen to in our own time when we have our earphones on. Music is so powerful, and it can have a significant impact on the way that we think and the way that we feel, in both positive and negative ways. Certain types, like psalming, like we discussed in episode 3, can draw us near to God, while other types of music can push us away from him and normalize our minds to behave in a way that isn't Christ-like. One of the ways we can assess if we should be listening to certain types of music is by honestly asking ourselves, is this music pushing me away from God, or is it normalizing behavior that isn't Christ-like? Some good advice from one of our young people in the leadership program, Tizu, is to slowly start cutting out music that normalizes ungodly behavior and instead replace it with songs that glorify God while still keeping your music taste. This is what she did, and it's allow her to listen to wholesome music that she can enjoy. This is the heart behind all of our Spotify playlists, and we definitely encourage you guys to check them out because we're sure that you'll be pleasantly surprised by how much great music is on there. With social media, it's become quite the central to the world that we live in, and there's certainly both pros and cons to it. Social media can become increasingly detrimental if we spend an unhealthy amount of time on it. We would simply advise a few things when it comes to managing your social media activity. First, follow wholesome accounts that will keep your eyes on Jesus and maintain your healthy mindset, instead of accounts that will lead you away from him into temptation or feeling insecure. Secondly, similar to what Daniel said earlier, just think to yourself, if Jesus was sitting next to me, would I be comfortable being on this? If you answer this question honestly towards all your social media platforms, it should really help you decide what sort of social media activity you should be engaging with. And thirdly, manage the screen time you have on social media. If you have a smartphone or a laptop, you can put settings in place to manage the amount of time you have on them. And well, that's all from me. Back to you, Ruth.
Well, that's a wrap for episode 4. We hope that you've been blessed. And if you have, why not share it with a friend? Share the love, guys. Anyways, as always, however your week has been, allow me to leave you with this.
You know, kids, the question that the Bible doesn't really answer is, how exactly did Zacchaeus get down from that tree so that he could go hang out with Jesus? Well, I'm not really sure, but here goes nothing. I can't stay.